Hello and welcome to Wildlife Cam. It's been fairly quiet here lately, not just at the waterhole but on the reserve in general. I think a lot of the animals have scattered, especially the impala. There's just not enough food for them in one place to all congregate, so they're all in little groups scattered all over the place. And then it turns out the reason we had only one hyena here last week and we've had nothing this week is that an elephant was killed by another elephant on a property a couple of kilometers away. And so the lions and the hyenas have all been camping out there for the last 2 weeks. So that's very nice for the lions because they get a nice meal and they get to do exactly what they enjoy the most, which is eating and sleeping. And it gives the antelope a bit of a break as well, but there hasn't been a lot of action at the waterhole. And then on Tuesday we had some rain, about 5 millimeters of rain. I don't think that's enough to turn this place into a tropical paradise, but it might be enough to get some green shoots going and see the impala through their last month of pregnancy. But unfortunately some of the water got into the camera. There was a crack on the lens, which can only have come from a certain somebody who likes to peck at it relentlessly. So I had to take the camera down and I've been drying it out for the last few days, so hopefully I can get it back up again today. We usually don't get much at the waterhole when it's been cold and wet, so I don't think I missed out on much. Another new genet. New ones are usually a little bit more cautious around the pond. I didn't get the best view of this one, but when it moved on to the far side I got enough of a view to see that it was a new one. The giraffe have also scattered into smaller groups, so we're not seeing the big groups of 9 or 10 like we do in summer. Very quiet at the trail cameras too. These baboons were the only things of interest I got on this one. So I did move this camera just after the baboons. I moved it to a little gully about 50 meters away along a game path. And I didn't catch anything on it, but it's been so quiet lately I'll give it a few more weeks. Medium-sized baboon spider. It's not a great spot for it being out in the open like that. Hornbills especially enjoy eating them, so I just moved it on its way. The female with the 2 youngsters again, and they seem to have picked up a young male along the way as well. They spent the whole day hanging around the waterhole in the house. It was extremely hot, and so I think they were probably too hot to get up to any trouble. It's been a long time since I did a pond video, so this was feeding time for the fish. Looks very dirty in there, but those are all little algae strands getting in the way. The pond has been filling up with algae and I had been taking it out, but now we have lots and lots of tadpoles that have been born in there, so I'm having to leave it and hopefully they eat some of it. The tadpoles were a disaster last year. Shortly after the first lot hatched, the sealant in the concrete started to leak into the water and it killed off all of them. So I'm hoping that now the water is cleared. They do seem to be doing a bit better. They've lasted longer than the last lot. So I'm pretty optimistic they will survive this time. Although I have taken a bunch of them and put them in the waterhole just in case. Now there are thousands of them just in the first batch. And over the course of the season, I'm sure there will be tens of thousands. So if they all survive, hopefully we'll have 10,000 tiny little toads hopping around here. Those are the fish pellets that they're feeding on. Don't know what this is coming in front of the camera, but it looks quite creepy. Things look a lot bigger. Even ants look huge when they run across the lens. This looks more like a spider. The toads have been so scarce at the pond, and then when one pitches up, the owl catches it. Little Toad is armed and ready for battle. We get 3 species of woodpecker in our garden, but the only one that comes to drink seems to be the golden-tailed one. And then there's a 4th species which occurs in large numbers nearby, but for some reason avoids our garden. I think what's happening here is that the little male is a satellite male, and what they do is that they hang around the edge of the pond, and any females that come to the pond attracted by the calls of the larger males, or the satellite males, try and mate with them. But it doesn't look like this female was putting up with any of his nonsense. Thanks for watching.